Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is HartDFS. For those of you that are new, I make daily NBA prize pick videos as well as daily NBA slate breakdowns on DraftKings. So welcome to my channel. If we get this video to 25 likes, that'd be huge. Really do appreciate all your guys' support. If you could hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, would greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter, HartDFS. Put up my extra core plays for DFS, my prize pick plays, talk DFS with you guys. All the good stuff. So, check out my Twitter, HartDFS. Now, before today's breakdown, let's get into my lineup from last night, which was right here. I decided to go with Marcus Smart. Unfortunately, as we saw from my Twitter, where was it? Marcus Smart started out the first quarter with 2 quick fouls in the first 4 minutes, got subbed out. And then he started the third quarter with 2 quick ones in 3 minutes. And so I think he only played 25 minutes, which is, about almost 15 minutes, over a quarter that he missed in foul trouble. So he was horrendous. Jimmy obviously couldn't shoot the ball. Tatum was great. Lowry, I don't even know what to say. Don't even know what to say about that in this stat line. Yeah, I could rant so much about that, but I'm not gonna even say it. It's just unreal. 25 minutes and you put up negative fantasy points. Robert Williams and then Caleb Martin. So I started off with Smart, Butler, and Tatum, kind of like my video showed as my core plays. And then I had Hero, and I had these 3 mixed around. I think I had Hero in here. I think I had Grant Williams or PJ Tucker in here as well. And then I kind of switched it around. I wanted to get contrarian with Kyle Lowry. Knew he was going to be super low owned, hoping he'd have a good game. And obviously he put up probably the worst game I've ever seen. So yeah, it didn't work out. Missed cash by a lot, which sucks, but what can you do about Marcus Smart missing over a quarter, almost, a quarter and a half of playing time? Lowry having the worst game ever. There's not much you can do. Winning lineup was Tatum, Brown, Horford, Robert Williams, Derek White, and then PJ Tucker. So another 5-1 stack. The third day in a row that a 5-1 stack wins it. This is the lineup I used in the last game between Dallas and the Mavs, or Dallas and the Warriors. So you can see I barely missed cash, but Luka had a great game for the Mavs. So did Kleber, so did Bullock. The winning lineup was Luka, Brunson, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, Kleber, and Kuminga. So this was the start of, or I think this was the second day of a 5-1 stack winning it. Yesterday was the third day, and today will probably be the 4th day in a row that a 5-1 stack wins it. So definitely keep that in mind. Golden State's favored by 7 points, so maybe do a 5-1 stack of Golden State, and the one person being in your lineup of Luka on the Maverick side. But yeah, keeping that in mind, every game's been a blowout. It's been a horrendous, watching experience and betting experience on the NBA these playoffs with just how many blowouts there have been. Like yesterday, it was really close the first 2 quarters. No one could hit a shot. And then obviously the third quarter, the Celtics were the only ones who were able to hit a shot. And the game kind of blew out. Heat could not hit a shot to save their life. So it was just disgusting. These playoffs have been brutal. I don't want to rant about it too much because everyone and their mama has been ranting about it. So let's get on today's slate breakdown. We have Luke at the top, 12-6. As I mentioned, if you guys want to do a 5-1 stack, honestly prepare for what's probably going to happen is a blowout. Then I'd stack up on the Warriors guys, put Luka in a utility spot, and you'll probably win. But just in terms of hoping this game stays close, Luka obviously great. We know what we're getting from him. Same thing with Steph. He's been the most consistent on the Warriors side. Even in the last game when they got blown out, he was still doing really well. Really doing well with the assists and the rebounds and pretty much everything. So really like Steph. $1,600 cheaper for Steph compared to Luka. Brunson at $9K. The price really hasn't changed. Kind of expensive. He's a second-hand man. He's going to do a little bit of everything in this series. So you really need a high-scoring game from him. Otherwise, 9K, it looks okay for him. Thompson, price still hasn't moved. Just been horrendous this playoffs. Maybe today's the day at home in front of the home crowd that he goes off. Has a huge monster game when it comes to shooting the ball. We'll have to see. I would love to play him as a captain because he's going to be super low owned, but he's just been worthless when it comes to DFS terms. Wiggins had a very bad game last game. Lost a good amount of minutes because of that blowout. Wasn't super aggressive when it came to shooting the ball. 8K, really like going back to Wiggins here. We've seen him, he's going to play, pretty much the full game. Guarding Luka, he's going to be very aggressive. Last game, blowout kind of affected everyone on the Warriors side besides Steph. So don't mind getting back to these Warriors guys at home, 7-point favorites. Do think you can throw Andrew Wiggins in the captain spot. Draymond Green had a decent game, 10, 6, 6, and 2. One of those guys that does have upside, but usually he doesn't play very well at all. Jordan Poole, 7,200. Price has come up for some reason, or actually came down a little bit, but yeah, he's been brutal. Fouled out last game. He really, really can't guard any of the people on the Mavericks side. I never knew he was that bad of a defender, but he really is scared to guard anyone on that Mavericks side. So he is definitely foul prone. Really hasn't flashed upside in this series at all. Hit 35 once. Other than that, it's been 28 or less. So 7,200 for him is pretty expensive. He can have, huge upside as we've seen throughout the season. At the beginning of the playoffs, versus Memphis, first game, 59, 54 versus Denver, 39, 36, 38, 43. So he has a huge upside. We know that. He's a good scorer, but he's just been brutal in this series. Maybe I'll probably fade him today. I loved him playing him as captain because of that upside, but really hasn't reached it. I just don't see how he's going to reach it, especially when they just keep attacking him on the defensive side. So I don't think I'm going to get there. Looney looks decent, finally had the normal Looney game. This is the Looney I expect. 20 minutes, only shoots it 3 times, 6 rebounds, assists, a block, 3 points. That is normal Kevon Looney. He was on this playoff career run, 10, 21, 9, 12, 12, 4, all that stuff. This is normal Looney, 13 to 20 fantasy points, 77K. Don't think he had to do it. Now, he's done fantastic this series, don't get me wrong. So he can have some upside, as we can see. But I just kind of expect him to be back to normal Looney. I do expect the main guys on the Warriors side to step up. Steph, who's stepped up the whole series, Clay, and then maybe Poole, but kind of Draymond. I think Steph and Clay are going to really run him out of the gym, and Andrew Wiggins as well. So that's who I like today. Who else we got here? DFS. I mean, the Mavericks hit every shot last game, and they almost blew it, which was very surprising. DFS had a great game, 23-62. I just think it's one of those. I think the Warriors are going to just beat them into the dirt this game. I don't think that the Mavs are going to be able to keep it close. They're going to need to hit every shot to win this game, and they almost lost. So last game, they hit every shot you can imagine, and they almost lost the game. They had a 29-point lead to start the fourth quarter. The Warriors scrubs got it down to 8 points, and unfortunately for the Warriors, they couldn't score any more points when the starters got back in. But I just don't see how the Mavs hold off the Warriors at home as dogs. So DFS looks okay at 6,600, obviously coming off a good game. Bullock, same thing, shot 6 of 10 from 3. Good game. It's just gonna be hard to get to these guys. If you're expecting this to be a close game, do prefer going back to a guy like Kleber. With Luka, Otto Porter Jr. is questionable, so let's keep an eye on that. If he's out, we can expect Kuminga to get some minutes. I don't expect 22, maybe closer to 15, but he's definitely in play. Same with Moody, 15 to 20, depending on if Porter is out or not. Bertans is going to get some run, maybe 10 on the Mavericks side. Powell has just been brutal these playoffs. Damian Lee got some run as well, 15 minutes. So did him. So did Belia, just because of these guys kind of got extended because of that fourth quarter. The Warriors pulled their starters, so they got like 8 to 9 minutes into that fourth quarter of playing time. So their minutes are kind of, you know, whatever you call it, a lot higher than they should be. That's about it. So just, I know it's not the best breakdown today, but we kind of know what we're getting in these playoffs and in this series. So that's kind of why, like, it's kind of hard to keep going over the same thing every day. But I think the best way to attack this is, I think, me personally, that this game's going to blow out. I do think the Warriors are going to come out hot, hit a bunch of threes, and I just don't see how the Mavs are going to be able to, you know, hang on to that. So I think my favorites, it's hard to get away from Steph as captain today, especially with how well he's been playing. But I think I'm going to start off with Wiggins as captain. Expect a nice bounce back game from Wiggins. You know, should see closer to 40 minutes. Do expect him to get, you know, a little bit more shots, and expect him to, you know, hit some more points, get some more points, maybe a block or a steal or two. So I do like Wiggins in this spot. He doesn't have massive upside, which is something you kind of want from your captain. You know, he can get you to the 40s if he's rebounding well or scoring really well. Other than that, he's going to be like mid 30s. So I don't know if I'm going to do him a captain, but I think you're going to have Luka. It's going to be really hard to get away from Wiggins and Curry in this spot. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do a 5-to-1 stack, you could do that. You can throw Draymond or Poole in the captain spot and just hope they do well. Let's just do, like, what if we did Clay? 2,600 left over. That's not much at all. Let's do Poole. Leaves you 3,800 left over. You can get to a guy like, you can do, let's just do like Kuminga. 4,800 left over. You can do like Kleber. So that looks okay. It's just Poole has just been brutal. I mean, it's just been very hard for these guys to be the optimal captain besides Luka and Steph, just because no one's really stepped up on either side besides those two. Yeah, I mean, this is just a brutal breakdown for you guys today. Sorry about that, but it's just these blowouts in the playoffs are so frustrating. It's so hard to just break down these games and talk about these plays when we most likely know this game's going to blow out. So if that happens, I kind of expect it to come from Steph. So let me back up here. Going to throw Steph in the captain spot. I do think you need Luka in there. Even if this game does blow out, Luka's going to have probably the most points on the Mavs side. Now, you could fade him, and let's say he gets only like 40 fantasy points. If you load up on these Golden State guys and maybe a Mavericks guy, that could definitely get you past, you know, fading Luka. Otherwise, you know, I'd say you need Steph and Luka, and then I'd say throw Clay in there. It's going to get you super different. 8,800. Obviously, the floor is very low, especially at his price, but he has a huge ceiling if he's hitting the shots. I mean, he's going to get you some rebounds, assists, maybe some steals or two, but I think Clay's the dark horse for today at 8,800. Obviously, leaving you 4K left over is not good at all. We do have to wait on the Otto Porter Jr. news. It kind of changes the whole slate in terms of value. So I think as of right now, I'm just going to start with these three guys, Steph, Luke, and Clay. And kind of go from there. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, HeartDFS, to stay updated with my core plays for today. But as of right now, until we get more news on Otto Porter Jr., I think I'm just going to roll with this as of right now, and then kind of figure out the rest of these spots later today. So if you guys like the video, let's try to get this to 25 likes. Do appreciate it. Turn on the notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video today, which will be the NBA Prize Pick video. So thank you guys once again, and I'll see you guys later today on my Twitter and in the next video. Peace.